Hey, in the previous video I did some stuff and now in this video I'm gonna do more stuff. In the previous video we implemented a simple pathfinding system with our now mesh surface right here. I still don't understand why now mesh surface is not visible on our scene view. It is in position, it is above our ground object, but it is visible here, but maybe it's because the ground object is a quad. That's not a quad, a plane I mean. But the point is, it works. We have a now mesh surface and it works. Let me test again actually. Now it's gonna walk through here to reach our player character. There. Now we're gonna revisit our enemy objects in the future videos, but now for the next few videos I want to focus on my player object and implement our player behavior. So this game is gonna be a top-down shooter, so we need some spice for guns, which I have. Where were they? There. We got some sprites here with transparent backgrounds. We're gonna use this in our game. So the idea is this. At the start of the game, our player character is gonna start with this starting pistol, and throughout the game we're gonna be able to get money by playing the game and killing enemies, and with that, by collecting that money we can buy other things. We can buy these weapons right here. But that's a topic for another video. We're gonna do that later. For now, for the next, let's say 3 videos, we're gonna focus on implementing these weapons behaviors and shooting patterns instead of trying to implement how we can get them. At first I did think about making all of these a single video, but I decided to make 3 videos. So the first, actually, is it 3? 1, there's 2, there's 4 videos. Okay, there is gonna be 4 videos. Now in the first video I'm gonna focus on implementing this, the starting pistol and its behavior. Then in the second video I'm gonna implement the behavior for shotgun weapons, and then in the third video the rifles, and finally in the fourth and final video on this topic we're gonna do the light machine guns. I did try looking online for a sprite for player object right here, but I couldn't find one that would fit our weapon sprites here. So I decided to leave our player objects spriteless, just a cube right here. Now let's first get all of these sprites in our assets. We're gonna create a new folder. Images. Actually, sprites. Let's call the folder sprites. So going from default to sprites and single. There. Alright, now we're gonna work with these. But how? Let me think. Let's actually, before we do anything else, before we implement our weapons in our game, let's create a basic behavior script for player object. There, that's better. Our first task is simple. First, before anything else, we want our player object to be movable with our WASD keys. So for that, wrong. There we go. If I remember correctly, we need private float movements 1, private float movements 2, then private float movement speed. We can actually assign this here. Let's do 3. Axis row, horizontal. Was it called vertical? Hold on. Ooh. What? Okay, cool. Anyway. Vertical. Yeah, that's right. Now we move in the Z axis and the X axis. Transform position. Factor 3. So right. Yeah, right. Hold on, which is what's direction? Left, right. Movements 1. Then movement speeds. Then time delta. Is it up or forward? It's forward. Ooh. Oh, we need to change that. Now where is it? Yep. Yep. Cool. Now what do I want next? Now how did I did that in the in a previous project, the whole object rotating towards the mouse thing, but right now I don't remember how to do it. Let me think. in the previous project where I did this, I did handle it in a separate script, not separate function. In the update function, I did both handle movements and then handle rotation. I'm gonna do the handle rotation here, so I'm gonna create a new function to make things tidier. So void handle rotation. Now in here we're gonna start with mouse position, input, mouse. What's the difference between these? I'll go with this. I kinda forgot how to do this. Shit. Fuck. How did I do this in previous project? I need to know. Hold on. I need to look this up. What? So forwards and upwards. That's Z and Y. We don't want Y, do we? Oh. We want our object to move in a rotate in a Y axis. So we want to rotate the object in the y-axis, so 0 target rotation, Euler angles y, and 0 for the z-axis. That's cool. Also the controls are a little bit wonky. Let me try fixing that. So movement 1 is horizontal, movement 2 is vertical. Let's switch their places. Horizontal. Also, what the fuck is... Why is that visible? Anyway. This is not going very well. Didn't do this properly, fuck. What am I doing wrong? Oh, this fucking sucks. I'm gonna go off camera and look this up real quick. Because I really don't know how to do this properly. First of all, I need to change it back to forward. Forward and back controls are simple enough, but the left and right controls are where it gets a little bit awkward. How about I space self or world? Local coordinate system of a game object relative to its parent, including orientation. What's this? What coordinates is space relative to? How about this? Let's add it to our forward movement too. I don't want my movements, my left and right movements to curve as we walk, as we move. So you see the mouse is here. I'm gonna move from left to right. You see the curve? I don't want that. So let's save this and try again. Now the mouse is here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that works. The left-right controls are still a little bit weird. Instead of left, we go with right. There, that's much better. Now that that's done, I'm wondering if I should add a health system first or continue with or continue implementing or weapons right here. Well, since the topic of our video is these weapons, we're gonna start with these. So now that we got our player characters basic behavior scripts, we got the movement and rotation, we're gonna add guns into the mix. So I did think about this a little bit before the recording, thinking about how I should implement this. I'm not sure if this is the right way, but here's how I think. So we got the player character right here. Inside we're gonna create an empty, not an empty, another 3D object, a cube. Let's see. We get rid of the mesh renderer and in its place we're gonna get a okay, get rid of that too. We're gonna get a sprite renderer. That looks really big. How does it look? Yeah. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, but maybe we could make this a little smaller, since it's supposed to be a pistol, not a goddamn rifle. Cool. So we got this guy right here. We can position this like this. We could get the camera a little closer. Why are you not coming closer? So this is the forward way, right? No, that's not. The forward way is here. Okay. So we can rotate this guy. Is that right? That's right. Look at that. Now, obviously, I want to make it so we can shoot bullets from our... Actually, let's name this. What should we name this? Object, I guess. So anyway, we want to shoot bullets from this guy right here, the pistol object or sprite. But if we leave this as it is, if we do it as it is, the bullets that we spawn, that we instantiate through code, are gonna spawn from the middle of our pistol object. This guy right here. So I want to make it so when we instantiate a bullet profile, it spawns from our pistol's muzzle. Is that what it's called? Yeah, muzzle. Nice. I want the bullets to shoot from the gun's muzzle instead of from middle of it. So we're gonna create a second child object. Do you need a mesh filter? I don't think I do. I don't think you do. No. Cool. So we're gonna call this muzzle. Now let's see if this is gonna follow as we rotate our player. Let's rotate the player object. And now we got the pistol right here and the muzzle is right here. Cool. Awesome. Actually, I think we can make this a little more centered. There. Now all that's left is to start shooting, is to start being able to shoot. We're gonna create the shooting behavior in our pistol object. Let's create that script. Let's create a subfolder. Weapons. Actually, sure. So, so the shooting is not gonna be automatic. We want to be able to shoot with a certain key. I'll say spacebar. And I think we should do all that in our player behavior. Let me think though. Yeah. Alright, so let me focus. Hold on. Let me focus. So instead of pistol, let's say sprites holder. Then we're gonna create a second one. We can actually copy this. Is that too big? No, that's the right size. So there's sprite folder. No, that is too big. Jeez, what the fuck is that? Yes. 207 and 0. That doesn't do anything. Should we just make them 5? They still make these bigger than our starting pistol because these sprites are larger than this one. So naturally, yeah, I don't think we need to change the transform scale. It can stay. It can stay that way. So we're gonna copy this, paste it. There. Just do this. Okay. I have something like this in my mind. So the player is gonna be able to switch between these weapons, right? So for example, let's say our player switches from a pistol to this shotgun too. Then in that scenario, this pistol sprite holder object sprites goes to null, while the other sprite holder's sprite switches to or chosen weapon. But then scale. I mean to pick a position that works with all of these weapons. Okay, I think this works. But anyway, as we switch between weapons, these two objects, sprite slots, are gonna change. That's all. And then we're gonna run if statements in our player behavior script. So let's say that our player clicked or player pressed spacebar. Then we're gonna check if this guy's sprite is null, and if this guy also doesn't have a fitting sprite, then we're gonna create a scenario based on that. For now, let's just focus on this. In the next videos, we're gonna create the behavior for these guys in addition. For now, it's just this. Let's put this guy back to his place here. Now let's go back to our player behavior script. I'm trying to visualize how I want this function to work, how I want it to look like. Let's create voids angle shooting. Then we're gonna call this every frame. Then we're gonna check input so we got get key down, get key up, and get key. Returns through during the Alright then. If input gets key down, key code, so what options do we have? Joystick, no. Mouse 0. Yeah, there it is. I want that. But to do the checks I just mentioned, we need to create a reference to both our pistol sprite holder and our others sprite holder. So let's do that. Public game object pistol sprite holder. Game object others sprite holder. Then this, does that work? No. Then if pistol sprite holder so is it sprite or sprite render? Let's go with sprite render. Sprite's name equals to. So what's this name? Starting pistol. Can I? No, I can't copy his name. I can't do it like this though. Starting pistol. Then we're gonna, in this if statement, we're gonna call another method, void pistol shot. Oh, we also need to make a reference to our muzzles. Let's do that. Public game object. Pistol muzzle. Then public game object others muzzle. There. There we go. Now the shooting itself. For that we need to create a prefab. Let's do that. A folder prefabs. We need to add the S here. Now for now the bullets prefabs can be just a small cube. We can maybe find the sprites suitable for it in the future, but not right now. So we're gonna create a cube 0, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, or 0. How big are bullets in real life, Fallen? Pretty small. Little shrimp bullets. Little tiny bullet. There. That's perfect. So this is gonna be our pistol bullet. I'm gonna put this here. Let's also set this guy's positions to 0, 0. There we go. Now we're gonna want to spawn this from our muzzle right here. And pew, pew. Public game objects, pistol, bullet. I do plan to create different prefabs for different weapons. I may or I may not. You'll see in the future videos. But for now, let's assume that I will. So we got our pistol bullet slot filled right here. Now all we need to do is spawn these, instantiate these. Let me think. Pistol bullet. No, that's no. Pistol bullet. What was it called? Instance. That's right. Instance. Instantiates pistol bullet. What do we need in this? I forgot. Oh, fuck. Where am I? How can I look into this? Man. Oh, fuck it. Instantiates overloads. So object origin, transform. So object original vector 3 position and rotation. Now we got the object here, original object, then pistol muzzle, transform, position, then or rotation. What is or rotation? Maybe pistol bullet instance game object tag equals to pistol bullet. Let's create that real quick. So pistol bullet. Let me test this so far to see if this can work at all. Oh, it does. Nice. Pew, 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 pew. Now we need to make those guys move. Let's see. We can create a specific script for pistol bullets, but assuming that we're going to create multiple prefabs, multiple bullet types, I don't think I want to do that. I did that in the previous project, but I'm not gonna do that in this one. Instead, I'm gonna add rigid body components to these guys, to these bullet prefabs, and I'm gonna influence that rigid body in our script. So I'm gonna add force into that rigid body. Let's start with giving this guy a rigid body. Rigid body, there. Kinematic, no. Hold on. Do I collide with these? Oh, these should not be. Yeah, use gravity unchecked. There it is. And we also can't have them colliding with each other. I mean, we want them to collide with each other, but not as colliders, as triggers. Perfect. Now we got a rigid body in this guy. Now we're gonna influence this guy's rigid body. So pistol bullet instance get component rigid body add force, vector 3 force, vector modes, force mode. Hmm. Pistol muzzle, transform. Is it forward or let's see. So right is this, forward is this. What do we need? So if, yeah, Z, alright. Then we need a force mode. Yeah, force mode, impulse at an instant, force impulse. Losing its mass, no acceleration. Ignores its mass. With a continuous S, no. No. Yeah, ignoring its mass. We want this. Then time delta time. Why are you giving an error? Oh, this, okay. And why are you giving an error? There. I think that's supposed to be it. No. Is it because of the time delta time? What? No, that's not the right way. It's not transform forward. So we got forward, then what else? Up, we got up. Let's try that. No. Oh, shit. So where do these guys go? Oh boy. Transform. Right. How about this? Okay, that works, but why right? Is it because, I mean, it is because of the rotation, but fucking hell. Okay, then how about this? So we'll leave this as it is, but we're gonna add a speed modifier. So let's say 5. How fast does it go? That's the enemy object. I thought one of the bullets came back or something like that. Yeah, that's slow. That's better, I guess. But now we're gonna do something else. Right now, our pistol works. It shoots bullets, but hold on. Actually, before I explain that, let me look up something. I have something in mind. Hold on. Okay, I looked it up. What I was saying is that right now we can shoot bullets out of our pistol's muzzle. But right now we can just spam our bullets. I don't want that. I want our weapons to have fire rates. So, for example, where are they? Or rifles can have shorter fire rates, but our pistol needs to have a longer fire rate. So we'll implement that. So private float fire rate. Let's say 2. Actually 1. I see. Zero 0.5. Actually, fuck it. 0.3. So how should we implement this? Let me think. If fire rates, 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 if fire rates 0 floats 10. Then if input and fire rates equals actually 0.3. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but let's see. If it works, we're not gonna be able to spam our pistol bullets anymore. Let's see. Yeah, it's working. To better show it, let me fire rate 2. We're gonna set it back to its original value, but let me show you. Oh. We also need to set this. My bad. So 2, 2. Yeah, there we go. That's really good. Okay. Let's set it back to its original value. I also want to try something. So we got pistol bullet instance here. We're gonna try writing pistol bullet instance. Actually no. Destroy pistol bullet instance file. 2. There. That's very good. I really like that. Okay. Alright, I think I'm done with this. We implemented our starting pistol. And in the next video, I think I'm gonna continue with our shotguns. Implement our 2 shotguns here. Actually, maybe I'll implement our rifles first. I don't know. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.